back. Hello, we are back. I'm full of cold pizza left over from the big pizza that I never have time to eat in between. ESO and do you know? So somebody, I don't know if you were watching the ESO stream, but I had this person asking why I wasn't a full-time streamer.
Compliment.
I know. He actually said it was quite interesting actually because when he first came in, he said his comment was, "Aren't you a bit too old to play ESO?" And it was interesting because I just sort of said, "Yeah, but I said I'm rebellious. I just like to push the boundaries."
Maybe there's an age restriction on it.
Yeah, and then people in my stream started to join into it. Then he said at the end, he sort of like changed his tack then, and sort of like he said, then he called me a posh Brit. And
it's a good job I was at work, really. I think.
But I just said I can be a posh Brit. I said we're not judgmental in this stream. You know, anybody can be who they are. That's the important thing about it. Anyway, he said later on, he said, why are you a full-time streamer in Wills? I said, no. And he said, you should be. And I said, just have a look at the number of viewers. You know, I don't think I'm going to be making a huge amount of profit here somewhere.
Well, if you're not prepared to work on it.
I know. That's what I thought. You know what I'm like? I just thought that's it. I should be streaming 24/7. That's what I should. I mean, who needs sleep?
This is the dream.
Who needs sleep? Yeah. So anyway, welcome back. Who needs a break?
I have to have a break. I have a bad back.
I needed a break.
Well, see, you tall, lanky people, you're all the same. When you're small, when you're small and compact like me, so you don't have this issues.
Can you imagine me streaming and having to take a break every 2 hours?
I'm actually sat on the floor at the moment. Can I just say? I'm actually stood up. I'm actually stood up.
You're not that small.
I wish I had one of those desks. So you know those desks that you can actually.
I've got one of those at work.
Yeah, to stand up. I would love to have one of those.
I don't use it like that, but I have one at work.
Oh, I would love one. I would love one here. And I would love an extra monitor as well. That's out of interest. Anyway, let's get straight back on with things because we left the party in a bit of a quandary. Is that a word they have in Canada, in America, quandary?
Yes. Predicament.
Okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I'm short and I'm tired. I get tired walking to the fridge. I would need a break after doing anything for 2 hours. Yeah. That's Gumby.
That's Gumby. I was thinking that sounded like something Gumby would say.
Hey, Gumby.
Love you, Gumby.
Do you want to know something? Why don't you just move the fridge closer to you, Gumby?
That's too much.
Mini fridge.
That's how my brain works. See, you know. If that's how it would be, I should just have this is where I'm streaming and everything should be around me, you know, so I can make a cup of tea here and do some cooking here and everything like that.
I used to actually watch somebody stream who actually did that.
No,
they had like a toaster next to them.
Oh, that would be cool. I love toast.
No, I'd get crumbs on my keyboard.
I do in any case. My keyboard's disgusting.
What, your new one?
Yeah, it's. I can see because it's underlit, backlit. I can see the crumbs.
And that's why you're not. That's why you're not going to get a new monitor because you don't look after yourself.
Oh please!
You take your keys out and hoover it out with one of those little USB hoovers.
Please, Mummy, I'll look after it if you get it for me. I promise. It's like
you look after it for about 2 days.
It's when you get a pet, isn't it? I'm sure we'll look out of the capybara. I fancy a capybara now as a pet. You could take it for walks like a little dog, wouldn't you?
Oh, there's a kid in. It's on all over social media every so often. There's a kid in Australia that has a llama as an indoor house pet.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I would be. No, it's too much chance of mess, of poo and stuff.
But
you know,
only about the same as a dog or.
Well, exactly. That's why I don't have a
cat.
I don't have a cat. I don't have anything.
A dog can't spit in your face though, intentionally.
That's true. That's true.
Or was it an alpaca? No, it was an alpaca.
And yeah, I was going to say, was it an alpaca rather than a llama? Yeah.
Llamas can be vicious.
Are we just trying to put off actually trying to find this path because we don't know what we're doing?
Well, I was
Maybe.
just allowing you time to think what you were going to do, because I left you in a quandary. You think the path should be there, but from the road you cannot see it. So, is there anything you wish to do? Good.
Angus is going to look at Aaron and go, "Do you think you would be able to find? Have a range and find it?"
Yeah, I wonder if track would be able to find roads. I mean, on the one hand it makes sense, but on the other hand, I'm not sure.
Well, I think it would be more of not tracking a road, but it would be more of examining the underbrush and looking for difference in maybe plant growth or things like that.
I think track, we've ascertained that track is for pursuing a quarry or game or something like that. So, and I think from your point of view now, if there's no visible path leaving this road at your point, so I think you have two options. Gully's first option was to go further up and down from where you are, just in case you've got your map reading incorrect, and two steps down you can see the path, or 2 miles down you can see the path, or the path is no longer visible from the road, and you're going to have to venture into the forest or through the shrub to see whether or not the path actually exists in some form within the forest.
Can Hengist examine? I know you can't read and he's not very good with maps at all, but can you examine the map to see if the forest goes right up to the mountains, or does it stop and then there's another noticeable landmark that's on the map? What the next main thing on the map?
It's quite stylized. So if I draw on the mountains for you, the mountains almost, I'm drawing it on the actual map. The mountains look like this. And then they have ice cream toppings on like this. And then the forest is like this. So the map is quite stylized. It's not like an OS map.
No, Hengist realizes that he was more looking for a particular landmark. So if the road would lead between two particular mountains, or in between the peaks, or if it would lead to a particular peak that they could roughly work out where, and then they could head that way. That's what he's.
You can assume. You can assume that that's what it. It's not that. It is. It would have been a good idea, but with this map, it's more of a stylized map.
But it gives. He's
a bit
it gives an idea, a rough idea.
Well, that's how it is.
Okay.
It's a bit like the map. I was just watching The Hobbit, and I just come onto the bit when they've just been rescued by the eagles. When they're out on the burning branch. Have you seen it?
I digress, but somebody's done the Yorkshire Moors in the same style.
What? It's a griffin.
That's me. This is exactly yeah. So those are your two options. So do you want to wander further down the path and to see whether or not the main road that you're on, to see whether or not you can see anything else, or do you want to head off into the forest and maybe walk 4 abreast? Roughly at this stage, and if you were walking 4 abreast, then you might get into the forest and maybe see something or catch, see if there's actually a road at all. And of course, you don't have to go very far into the forest. You could walk for an hour, and if you don't find anything, then you can adjust your thinking at that point.
What's the time of day, roughly?
Yeah, it's about midday at the present moment in time.
We could always stop for lunch here while one of us scouts down the road a little bit. Comes back, maybe.
I think the problem that we have is that we've no idea how old the map is. It could be centuries old. There's no markings on it to say exactly how old it was.
Sylvester would know.
We should have brought him with us.
Not with us.
Yeah, but I've. What's the question asked?
No.
All right.
That's the question. No.
It's quite a way back, just so you know, to go back and ask him.
Hengist is happy to sort of like wander down the road for an hour or two, and then an hour or two back up to where everyone else is to see if he can find the road or see any signs of the road. And
I would second that, except Hengist is really, really slow. So I'll volunteer to go in his place.
I kind of got to agree there. Sorry, Hengist.
Okay, then. So even though you're quite noble at that point, Hengist, you succumb, unless you want to argue your point, sorry.
We still love you, Hengist.
Did you?
I think we should
No,
just head. I think we should just head through the forest and head up to the mountains, and then we know that somewhere up that mountain path, up by the mountains, that the pathway would come out. Wouldn't we be better off looking for the path at the mountains rather than at the road?
Yeah, you're right.
That's how that storm came from.
Is it?
From the mountains, yeah.
Oh.
But it's fine weather at the moment. It doesn't. It looks like Hengist's weather forecast, wasn't quite accurate.
wow,
I would like
Forecast.
to roll. Can I roll lore monsters to know if there's anything in stories regarding monsters and having like ominous weather coming around them?
I hope your rolls are better if you have to heal me.
I've been getting like 80s all game.
Everything's been 80.
That's the club I'm in today.
Yeah, he has this thing about 80 at the moment. Before that, it was 90, just so you know, because it was 98, and then it was 100, and now we're in the 80s. We've had 83, 83, 82, and then beforehand we had literacy 89. So he's obviously liking the. I won't tell you what your role was to me. Because you did a blind roll for that, didn't you? But you earlier on you did a roll that was 82. You just like you're firmly in the 80s today.
I'm really good at this, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, if needs be, I mean, we could do both.
Okay, hang on. Let's just decide what's going to happen here. Are you going to wait here and let Aaron go down to see whether or not the path goes off in another direction somewhere down the road? That's all. That's a quite simple yes or no answer.
I vote no.
We should probably try and stick together thinking about it. And
So that's two no's then. Hengist, are you going no?
Hengist is one of the two no's.
Yeah. Okay, you're going no. Okay, Gulliver.
Gulliver thinks that we should head off.
Okay then. So
I agree with Gulliver. Vote yes for Gulliver.
Okay then. So is the idea that you're heading off into the forest from where you are now, and is it the idea that you're going to go four abreast so you can sort of like?
I mean, we're going to go four abreast. We're going to spread out a bit and sort of like keep our eyes open, but only for the first couple of hours.
Yeah. Okay then.
To see whether or not we always want to try to keep each other in sight. We don't want to have it so that nobody is in sight of the other person at all.
That's absolutely fine.
So the first 2 hours will be slower going than the rest because we're looking for signs of the path.
Yeah. So you head off into the forest, and it's somewhat cooler under the canopy of the forest, and it's not dark, but it's not bright sunlight under here. If anything, it's quite cooling for people like you, Hengist, who have got your armor on. So it's a lot more relaxing and chilled under the under the canopy as you walk in, and there are some big trees in there, and some little trees, and some undergrowth. And as you sort of like start walking in, and it is about 1.5 hours in that both Bartleby and Aaron, from where you are, you notice that there's up ahead there's a stone obelisk. And it only stands roughly up to your waist in height, both of you, roughly, depending on how tall you are. And it seems to have some fine, intricate design on it. And it's sort of like it has flat sides that come up and then little peak at the top. It looks very weathered and very worn. And, you know, the undergrowth has grown around it for some time.
I'm a normal size 10. How tall is Aaron?
13, I believe. Double checking now. Aaron is 13.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little bit bigger than me. It's kind of why is there an obelisk in the middle of these woods? I say to everybody else.
What?
And you can all see it now. It's just sort of like it just seems to be there, and it goes up to the average person's waist, and it's grey stone, and it has been intricately carved, and it's quite solid in the ground, you know, and it just seems to be there.
Is there any mark? Gulliver's going to go over as well and have a look at it. Is there any markings on it?
There seems to be. It's one of those that almost like has a pattern rather than anything else.
Have we ever seen, or has Gulliver ever seen anything like that on any of the roads he was travelling down before? For example, the road that went from Lindowe to Eubin Falls, where the bridge was, you know, sort of like the turning up to the farms.
No.
Was it
On that caravan route? There was nothing like this, and it's actually while you're stood there and having a look. Gulliver and Aaron, you notice that farther off into the wood, there's another one. It's about 50 meters away, but you can see it. It looks exactly the same as this one, but further off. Roughly in give and take, roughly in a straight line.
heading towards the mountains?
Yes, yeah.
Trail markers.
I was about to say, could Hengist roll the locale of... has he still got the locale of previous land? Yeah, would he be able to roll that? Because he thinks there may be road markers or equivalent of mile markers
by all
type
means.
thing, but he's not sure.
No, you've never seen anything like this at all.
Okay. Hengist just shrugs and says, perhaps we should just follow them. Seems to be going in the right direction.
Could I roll my lore history on this? See if these are particularly. I want to know if they're an omen of any negative kind.
Yeah.
Magical. I'm getting better.
You've never heard of anything like this. This is very strange, but it seems like what Aaron was suggesting. They seem to be some kind of markers, almost like heading off these two into the forest.
Wouldn't you space them further apart if they were markers? You don't want to have one every 50 meters. That's going to be a lot of obelisks. But they're heading in the general direction that we're headed. Can Gulliver sort of like see whether or not he can scrape some of the dirt or whatever on the floor, the underbrush, to one side, to see whether or not there's any road underneath? You know,
Yeah,
a stone road underneath, anything like that, to see.
So you notice Gulliver sort of like gets down on his hands and knees and starts to sort of like scrabble away round by the base of the obelisk. And no, Gulliver, it just seems to be planted in the ground. There's no hardware, there's no trail there, there's no nothing. There just seems to be an obelisk. And then about 50 meters ahead of you, you can see another one.
Gulliver will get up and get the dirt and stuff off his breeches, off the knees of his breeches, and say, there doesn't seem to be a road. So why put them here?
Unless they are marking the road.
Let's go to the next one and see whether or not there's another one.
Yeah, let's skip along these little markers.
So we're going to go from the first one, 50 meters further in, up to the second one.
Okay, so the second one is exactly the same as the first one. The only thing that's slightly different about it, this one has a crack up the right-hand side of it. It looks like it's more of a weathering crack rather than a battering crack. And you, looking ahead, you all have a good look ahead. And Gulliver and Aaron, again, you pick up a little bit further than 50 meters this time. And another obelisk. You do notice that in between, where roughly 50 meters should have been, there's quite a large tree. And so the next one's a little bit further in.
So you think they were here before the forest or after?
I'd say after, since they placed it further than the tree. But
So that would mean that they're not following the path. Because otherwise there would have been a tree on the path. Wouldn't there? Is that right, Bartleby?
I think so, but we're following somebody's path.
won't know until we get to wherever it leads.
Yeah. I want to pray to Amriel.
I don't think it's somebody. They're going to have to be very strong to carry all these obelisks with them and place them every 50 meters.
Unless there was more than one of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to pray on this.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm sending as a secret roll because I don't want to know how little my goddess thinks of me. And I need to get a 56 or lower for devotion. I guess, Amriel, are we walking into like a demon hag's trap? Are we being led astray?
Good talk. At that, Aaron will push on for the next one.
Yeah, about 50 meters ahead is the next one, and it looks slightly better than the last one that you were at. It doesn't look to be cracked at all, and you can see farther off in the distance. The next one is some 100 meters away, and you notice that there's quite a straight line between this one and the next one. There's no sort of like imposing trees or anything like that. It's just literally straight, as if you could really tie a piece of string between the two. And so this one seems to be a little bit further away.
Pushing off?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess I'd look back to see if my friends are following.
Yeah, well,
I am.
In which case, Hengist would have been following along as well. That's the same pace as Bartleby.
Yeah.
Pushing on then.
Yeah, okay then. So you sort of like head off into the forest, following the sort of like little obelisks. And they seem to, sometimes they're a lot closer together if there's anything impeding the view between the two. Sometimes if there's a huge amount of distance when there's nothing impeding the view, they're quite far apart. All of them seems to have the same decorative paneling on them. Some are cracked. Some are, one is almost like toppling over. But it never looks like it's been done via aggressive action. It looks like either it's been weathered or the stone's cracked, and you definitely feel that you're being channeled towards something, and it doesn't feel like it's a straight line. It's definitely appears to be a twisted line, and it really sort of like confirms your understanding that these obelisks have been set up after the forest. You know, the way they're positioned, they're taking you round trees rather than through trees. You know, if there was a tree in the way, you have to step to one side of the obelisk to look round that tree to see the next one. Or it goes straight, slightly off to one side and then straightly, then back onto onto what the straight line would be. So it's obviously that these have been put in after the forest, from whoever was talking about that. All the time there seems to be no path or no road, as you can see, but these definitely do seem to be trail markers. They seem to be trail markers that are taking you closer and closer to the forest, to the mountains, and it's getting close to the end of a day when up ahead, and it's not like 50 meters away because you can't actually see that at the moment, but up ahead you suddenly all stop and you will suddenly all see this at the same time, because up ahead there appears to be the flickering of torchlight in the forest, and you all suddenly realize that it's extremely similar to the one that you saw beforehand when you were out on the plains.
How many torches is there? Is there 5?
At the present moment in time, you would have to you would have to make a perception roll for me.
I'll blindfold it.
Yeah, there's definitely 5, and there's definitely some slightly smaller than human figures moving around. One's very stationary, but the others are moving around. It's very hard to figure out how many they actually are, because they seem to be crossing backwards and forwards, so you don't know whether or not there's double that amount, or sometimes is it the same number, the same thing moving around. There's one that's standing quite a way back, and you can just see it as like a shadow, and that is very stationary, and that's all you can see from this distance. Just to let you know, I'm just going to put you onto a map to let you know what the general layout. I'm not putting you anywhere near the sort of like what's happening, but can you see that now?
No, it's all dark for me.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah,
dark as well.
yeah. So hang on, it's because that's the nighttime one. You'll be able to see it in a second. Yeah.
Ooh.
So that's sort of like the undergrowth. And just to let you know, those are not hollow or cut off trees.
They're proper trees.
They're proper trees, but if I put them on, you wouldn't be able to see the ground because of the canopy. So that's the sort of like thing. So there are places for you to hide behind trees. These are the little like shrubs. So those are a lot more difficult to move through, and will provide some cover if you wanted them. And then these are trees, obviously. And yeah, so I just put that on so you have a general idea what the terrain looks like, and you can see it sort of like you can see these things far off. If you look up at the top, you can see the shadows of the trees being caused by the torchlight happening. Took me ages to draw those on, so appreciate them.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Otherwise there would be trouble.
Well done.
Thank you.
I immediately want to start praying, and I put my hands onto Aaron, and I whisper to him, it seems that there will be danger afoot. I need to be sure that you'll be protected. And I'm just praying as I open up my character sheet. It's up.
Yeah! Hurrah!
That's something. That's something I did right.
That's well done.
Thanks, guys.
Well, you can go home now.
As Bartleby's touching up Aaron, Gulliver wants to keep an eye on these torches, and if they get a lot lower, as if they're being put into the ground, like we saw at the other place, then
you think they already are in the ground? They're not moving around. You can see the people moving around. You can see the shadows because the torches are actually in the place. They're actually firmly in the ground, and you can see the things moving backwards and forwards.
Okay, Gulliver's going to reach into his tunic and take out the disc that he uses to cast his more powerful sorcery spells.
Noticing that, Hengist is going to put his shield on his shield arm, and then he's going to move over to Gully and say, perhaps this is the opportunity you were wanting before. Perhaps we should go and see if we can... If there's anyone who needs help this time.
I think we should go before it's too late.
And Hengist is going to start sort of like moving forwards.
Okay, in the sense that you're just walking to... I just need to know how you're doing it, that's all I need to know.
He wants to try and not make too much noise, but he wants to walk sort of like, and if there's a tree line before a clearing and then the thing, then he wants to stop sort of like at the edge of the tree line, so type thing. Okay,
so are you engaging your sort of like, I forget what it's called in this game, the
Stealth.
Are you engaging your stealth skill, or are you not engaging your stealth skill?
If they're up ahead this way,
sorry, did you ping something? Yeah,
they're up ahead of us somewhere up here, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
Okay, so after the conversation with Hengist, and Hengist is starting up towards the clearing, Gulliver will wait until he's slightly ahead, and then he wants to go off into these bushes, and he wants to try to go round.
Sorry, can you just ping again, because I was zoomed quite.
He wants to go around this way.
Okay, so you're coming round the opposite way.
Just
sort of like from the west.
He wants to try to stealth through.
Okay.
Hengist won't be stealthing because he's going to be completely. He's not used to woodlands, and he can't really be stealthy. So he's going to be walking as quietly as he can, but he's not stealthing.
And sort of, are you going from like tree to tree, or are you heading straight to the area?
He will try and keep out of sight as much as possible, but he's not going to be ducking behind trees and things. So he's not going to go, here's a tree, where's my next tree, hide behind that tree and then move that way. He's just going to walk straight towards them.
Okay. Aaron, what are you going to do?
Aaron's following in line with Hengist. Him and Juno are gonna back him up.
Excellent. Bartleby, what are you going to be doing?
I guess I'm gonna kind of follow much further behind, kind of hiding behind trees, and as I see them kind of making progress, I want to spot out another tree and find cover. That's my method here.
Okay, so you're still going towards them, unlike Gulliver, who's going around the side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay then. Right. Just let me organize this so I know where everybody is going to be. And just put Bartleby next to his grave. Oh, sorry.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Right next to my grave. It's my favorite spot in the world.
And Gulliver, I'm just going to put you on where I think you will be, if I've read your actions correct. Oops. Okay. Bartleby, when I move you onto this map, no, hang on. I can put you on. That's not a problem. You'll probably just be slightly behind because you were going behind them, but I'm quite happy to stick you on where if I can find you. Okay, so I'm going to put you onto the map, and you will be able to see exactly what's happening. As you get closer. Okay, currently where you are, let me just tell you at this point. So currently you're about 10 meters away from what's actually happening, and you're not too sure whether or not they've noticed you or not as we get to this point. Okay, so they haven't taken any action. You've just been walking through the forest up to them. So what you can actually see, you can see something on the ground as before, and you can see the torches around. And as you get closer and closer, you start to hear snippets of conversation coming towards you. And it's almost as if they seem to be muttering between themselves, and you can hear sort of like words like, "I don't know why we keep doing this. Bloody pointless if you ask me." And you hear somebody else sort of like says, "We have to do it. This is the place. You said that last time. You said this was the place last time. And look what happened last time. Yeah, I quite liked him, and now he's gone. Well, this is definitely the place. I know this is the place. I've checked and double checked. Yeah, you always say that. Yeah, we keep raking this blood all over the place, and nothing ever seems to happen apart from a big buff of burning smell and then a dead person." And this is what you actually see.
Blackness.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just waiting for the big reveal.
It's beautiful.
Do you want a drum roll or?
No, it's fine.
I mean, I like it. I don't know. What you guys are-
Gulliver just dies. He just dies all of a sudden. It's quite remarkable.
Again.
Oh, they're cute.
Gulliver and Hengist, and I think Bartleby as well, you recognise these as goblins that you met. I don't know whether or not, Bartleby, were you there when we met the goblins? Yeah.
Yes.
With the caravan, yeah. So you recognise them as goblins, from beforehand. They're not the same goblins, but they're definitely looking like goblins. The one up at the top, right the way up at the north, up here. Can you see where I'm pinging?
The one with the
Yeah.
purple circle.
Yeah, he seems to be somewhat bigger than the rest. He's not as big as the one that you remember having the fight with. You know, when you came across the projection, and there was that boss one. This one seems to be more tattooed. And he seems, even from this distance, you can see in the torchlight that he seems to have things almost like fetishes dangling from his belt, and from around his neck they seem to be teeth and shrunken heads and things like that. Okay, what would you like to do?
Angus wants to see what or who's in the middle of the.
That's exactly what
circle.
you see at the moment.
Okay.
Wonder if we can make them our friends.
Who are you saying that to?
Myself.
Right.
Gulliver wants to continue coming around this side, trying to be as stealthy as he can.
Okay, so you get to that tree there. Send me your stealth roll.
It's 26,
Yeah.
and if he can, he'll use a luck point to swap them over, or if he fails completely, he will use a luck point to re-roll, and that would be Mr. Chuckles. This will be his that would be his second roll.
Okay, so you creep over, you get to there, and you notice that the conversation is still sort of like happening. You notice that the two goblins near you guys, Hengist and Aaron, are sort of like talking around everybody else. They're sort of like talking to the other people opposite. What would you like to do?
Sorry, was that addressed to me?
No, it's addressed to everyone.
Well, I'm standing there. I probably, Juno's probably, ready to launch, and I've got her by the collar, waiting, and then I've got a javelin in my hand, just waiting for Hengist to
Okay,
act.
so you've got Juno in one hand, javelin in the other hand. Where is your long spear? Because
yeah,
I think that is a very long weapon. If I'm right.
think so.
Yeah. It is. It's a very long weapon. So it's a long spear on the ground.
Yeah, I'll just be at my feet.
Okay, so long spear is on the ground. Okay, yeah.
Down.
Bartleby and Hengist, is there anything you would like to do?
I'll draw my club, my trusty club.
Okay, cool. Hengist, is there anything you would like to do?
Angus is gonna draw his sword, but he wants to sort of like see if he can get into a position to see if there's anyone in the center of the circle without sort of like stepping into the middle of the.
Yeah, you can see from there that there's nobody in the middle of the circle.
In this case, Hengist is going to watch and wait to see what happens before he does anything.
Okay, so you all sort of like stand and watch, and I'll continue the scenario, and then if at any point you actually want to do something, then let me know. So the goblins sort of like walk around, and you notice that they seem to have little vials of blood that they keep touching up the circle with. And then it gets to the point that they sort of like stop moving, and they sort of like take up positions.
Can I? Gulliver wants to put his disc away, and he wants to reach into his tunic, and he wants to get out some throwing stones,
Okay, yeah.
and he wants to continue trying to move to this smaller tree here.
Okay, so roll, send it to me. And send me 2, and then I know what you're actually doing. And you notice the guy at the front, the one with the purple blob on. What was your skill roll?
26.
26. You notice the guy at the front is sort of like he sort of like brings out of his belt. He brings off sort of like 2 what appears to be sort of like heads, and they're sort of like shrunken heads on bits of hair still attached to the head. And he starts to sort of like move them like this, and his eyes are closed and his head's rocking backwards.
As soon as he does that, Gulliver wants to
hang on. And he starts doing that. And you notice this is when you're moving from one tree to the other, and he's doing the thing, and all of a sudden you notice that the red blood suddenly starts to glow, and at that point, this goblin, this one here, suddenly goes and looks round at you. Gulliver. Let's have. Let me just bring round my turn order. Nobody roll anything at the second because I just need to take you all off. Get rid of that. Bring up the dragon sheet.
Yes.
And I need.
He's looking out for us, guys.
Just 1 second, because I just need to get this ready, because I didn't think you were going to do this one tonight. Cool. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you can roll some initiatives for me, please, guys.
Yes. Strong 10.
Oh, 12.
Oh shit.
Is there a thing you can use with luck to do something to your initiative?
No.
No. Okay, never mind then.
And because I've just got individual initiatives to roll.
I messed up on Aaron's. I'm re-rolling it. There we go.
Oh wow, I need to move my turn order to the opposite side of the screen. Make it bigger.
Why was Aaron's re-rolled?
Aaron's is re-rolled because I rolled on Juno. I was trying to roll Juno's, but I was still clicked on Aaron's, so it put Juno's on Aaron. So it gave Aaron a 19 when it should have been not. That was Juno's, but now I rolled Juno's and I don't even see Juno on there. So I don't know what I did. You want me to re-roll Juno's?
Well,
No.
it came up Evans
Yeah,
as
it did.
14, and then Juno's as 19.
Oh,
Evans
did
came
it?
up first.
Yeah.
That's 14.
Oh, I don't know what happened.
And then Juno as 19. And
Yeah.
then all those before.
No, that's all initiatives.
All right, so it's rolled them twice. It had a 14 for you and a 19 for Juno, and then it gave a 22 for Juno
Yeah,
and a 12 for you.
I've just
Word.
taken the first lot. Okay. Yeah. So we're going straight into the initiative now. So this is going to be. Let me just get that sorted. Where's my big battle music gone? That's a dog.
How many
barking.
luck points do you want me to take off? By the way?
Just one. Sorry, just one.
Ooh,
It does. It didn't matter.
Result.
You look pointed. You had to use a look point on the first one, but the second one it didn't matter what you did. Neither of them would have succeeded at all. Okay. So we are going straight into the combat. So everybody will be moving according. So Juno will be first, so she will delay her action, and then Aaron and Gulliver, you go together. Who has the biggest initiative bonus?
Gulliver's is 12.
Yeah, his is larger.
Okay, so so Gulliver, you will go first.
Okay, so Gulliver has a stone in his hand.
Yeah.
Can he throw that immediately, or does it take him a?
Is it in his throwing hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's got two other ones. He's put his disc away as he was going across. He's got two in his hand and one in his.
Yeah. So that's absolutely fine. You can chuck it wherever you want to chuck it.
He is going to chuck it at this one here.
Okay. About 10 meters away, if it's within range.
Yeah. So my ranges are 5, 10, 20.
Okay, cool.
So that is a hit on standard.
Yeah. So you can just roll your normal and tell me your special, and then go for it.
Okay, so my special, he wants to do stun location.
Yeah, go for it.
And he's going to hit him in his left leg.
I need some damage.
His damage is going to be... It's going to be a lot, actually. Two points.
Okay, brilliant. So the stun location, what do I need to roll for stun location?
For stun location, it is when I find it. Can't find it.
Stun location. Blood? No, not bludgeoning. She was temporarily stun the body part struck. Is that it?
Yeah. So,
Endurance.
if injured,
hang
the
on.
defender makes an opposed roll of endurance versus the original attack roll.
So what was your original one? 47?
Yeah. Failure equals the hit location is incapacitated for a number of turns equal to the damage inflicted.
So your damage was 2, taken off the armor. Okay, yeah. So you sort of like whack it, and it sort of like fires. It sort of like hits his leg, and it's just sort of like whacks into this leg, and this guy sort of like buckles slightly, but that's it. Okay, Aaron, you're up.
Okay. Aaron will release Juno, pointing at pinging this one, for her to attack, and he'll lob his javelin at this one.
Cool, go for it.
Okay. Which one would you like me to do first, Juno or him?
Well, Juno, it'd be you first because Juno has to move. Won't it? She'll have to use her action point to actually move.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Okay. So let's do me. Throwing, rolling. No.
Are you encumbered?
I didn't think so. Oh, it's because stand by. I had messed up when I put that deer on, so I'm carrying like a ton of weight right now. Okay. There we go. So no, I'm not encumbered. Would you like me to reroll or just go off that?
It's completely up to you. I'm quite happy whichever one you want to do.
I'm quite happy with that roll.
Okay. Yeah. Okay then. So you need. I need location. I need special and damage.
Special, we'll go with impale.
Cool.
And damage.
No, hit location first.
Location
Oh,
first.
sorry. Is it a special roll or should I just roll normal?
You just click on your couch and just roll the hit location because it's a humanoid.
Left leg.
Cool.
Yeah.
Solid left leg.
And I need some damage.
Damage going now. 7.
You double roll it because it's an
Oh,
impaled.
yeah,
You take the
that's
highest.
right. My apologies. I knew that. 11.
Ooh.
That's so 11 in its left leg. Take it down to that. This is stun, and this is endurance roll. Yeah, so this javelin goes flying through the air, and it sort of like hits this goblin in its leg, and this goblin just literally keels over to the ground. Hengist, you're up.
So yeah, Angus is gonna come crashing through the undergrowth, being as loud and shout. And so hang on. How far can he move? He doesn't really want to go through. 12. He wants to run directly to this one, but he goes around the outside of the circle because he doesn't like the look of it, making a huge noise at the same time, going, "Stop this madness!" Or evil. No, stop this evilness! And he's going to run towards that guy.
Right. So that guy is is next on the order. Oh. So as you come up to him, he sort of like as you approach him, he pushes his hand out like this from you, and as you get closer and closer, you see that there's blue magic forming around his hand, and as you get really, really close, all of a sudden it sort of like goes like that, almost like a kickback as he fires this.
Can I do an interrupt action on that?
What do you? If you want to counterspell, you can do.
Yeah. So as he starts to do that,
hang on.
as he
What I would do, if it's called reactive for a reason, because I will see whether or not I hit first. Because if I fail my my sorcery spell roll, like my invocation, then you won't need to do anything. You see, so it's a bit like parrying. You would only do it if something actually happens.
Okay, just to let you know, the reactive spell that I'm going to cast is only helpful if it's a folk magic spell.
Right. Okay.
So what I class as a sorcery cantrip.
Yeah.
If it's the more powerful thing, if it's a proper sorcery spell, my interrupt spell will have no effect at all.
Yeah, and what you would actually do is that you would cast your interrupt spell.
Yes, yeah, I'm just saying. It's coming off no matter what.
As you approach this goblin, it sort of goes like that with his hand, and this blue bolt of energy, Hengist, just sort of like flies past you, and it hits this bush behind you, and the bush just goes like that and sort of like shatters into loads of little pieces. Bartleby, you're up.
Hengist, sorry, can I just interrupt? Hengist wouldn't have noticed that at all, because as soon as he saw this blue stuff sort of like appearing around the hand, his eyes would have gone wide, because he's never had magic thrown at him, and he's going to assume it's some sort of like arrow type thing, and he's going to have tried to be like ducking behind his shield as he's running towards it.
Okay, Bartleby, you're up.
I guess that would have been that guy's turn. I'm going to point my hand triumphantly over at Aaron and say that was a beautiful throw you did. May your next one do even more with Amriel's help. I want to cast a spell.
Cool.
Prayer.
Go for it.
Pray on. Oh yes,
Yeah,
Amriel.
nice one.
Look who's talking to me now. And it was on the javelin. I presume I can only do one javelin, but it's this.
Oh yeah. So it's that's not the javelin that Aaron's reloading then? Yeah. Is that what one of them in his quiver or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I presume if he's going to be reloading, I'm
cool.
coming up.
Yeah, it would be the next one I'll grab.
That's
cool.
absolutely fine. Let's just put that on there. Brilliant. So yeah, so then it's my turn. Yeah. So this one is an attack that's coming at. This is coming at Juno. This one. Where's my goblin thing? Da, da, da. Why is that rolling that? Hang on a minute. It's saying that I'm hard due to fatigue, but there's nothing. That's right. Okay. Yeah. So So that's hit. Juno.
Back up to. Wait. Oh, he's hitting Juno. My bad. I was like, Juno's turn. I was like, no. Juno would probably.
She doesn't.
Are you asking if she like is gonna evade or anything? Or
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh no. She would probably just be running straight for him.
So this would be.
Not sure if that's the brightest idea, Juno.
So this is his hit location. 18.
18. That brings it to left front leg.
Cool.
That makes sense.
And then this is the spear hit.
7.
Hang on.
Oh,
yeah, 7 points of damage into its front legs.
Right. It's a big hit.
Is it wounded?
It is wounded.
How wounded?
-3.
Out of how many?
4.
So in which case you need to make an endurance roll on Juno, and my original hit was 26.
Endurance.
So you're on standard. Yeah. So that's fine. So what happens is that you're actually still the leg is still operable. If you had failed that, it would have been useless, and she would have fallen to the ground. Can you roll 1d3?
3.
Okay, so for the next 3 turns, she can't do anything but parry or evade. Okay, she can't attack. Okay, okay, so this goblin here is on the floor, and he starts to crawl across this one. This guy and this goblin, this other goblin, Hengist, the one on the opposite side, he just runs across the runs across the thing. He doesn't seem to be worried about it at all. He just sort of like dashes straight across. Let me just put these into my combat thing. That's his movement. Excellent. You moved. You spell cast. You chucked. Okay. So we are now on turn 2. Yeah, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. And Juno's first, so she will probably delay that action, ready to withstand attack. Gulliver, you're up next.
Gulliver hasn't swapped the stone, or another stone, over to his onto his throwing arm, but he hears the yelp from Juno as she gets hit by the spear, and turning to see this goblin, he'll just go, Juno, and he'll point at it and shout out, Idalbalud, and cast a spell.
Okay.
Folk magic.
Yeah, 58. Yeah.
You are You do get an endurance.
Get an endurance against 58. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get 35
Is that
on my standard roll.
I got 58, so mine's higher.
So you win. Yeah.
Okay. So this is coming straight into his chest. This ignores
No,
any
ignores
armor
armor.
or,
Yeah.
or natural protection that you have.
Yeah. Do some damage for me.
Yes.
For 1 point, a full point.
Ouch.
It's the fort that counts.
Yeah. So that's your spell cast. Aaron, you're up.
Aaron will equip the next javelin.
Okay. Cool. Ready weapon. Hengist, you're up.
Hengist is going to try and attack the goblin with his sword. The goblin chief, the one with the purple.
Yeah, got you.
Purple,
Thank
purple
you.
dot goblin.
Yeah.
Critical.
Yeah.
Potentially.
That will hit. This guy's going to try to evade out the way of you. So he's going to launch himself over to one side. And he fails, so you get. I need your. You'll have 2 specials to start off with, and then you'll have your location and damage.
Okay. He's not got.
Will the guy also be prone, regardless of what happens in the rolling?
No, because he didn't succeed in his evade, so he won't even. So he almost like goes to try to get out the way, but Hengist's sword catches him before he actually gets out the way. So it's as if he started to get to one side and Hengist has slapped him one, so he doesn't go prone
Gotcha.
or anything.
Okay. Hengist wants to try and do compel surrender. Is that something that he can do?
If it's
It's not a special. Well, it's a special effect, but it's not a critical special effect. Force a surrender of a disadvantaged opponent, i.e. has been disarmed or unable to regain his footing. If understands the demand, the target must make an opposed roll of willpower versus the original attack or parry roll.
Is this compel surrender that you're doing?
Yeah.
Allows the character a chance to force surrender of a helpless or disadvantaged opponent.
Yeah. Because it's on the floor, and he's
not on the floor.
He's not armed.
No, he didn't manage his evade. So you've actually hit him before.
Oh, I've hit him.
Yeah, before he
Yeah.
goes. That's what I was
Okay.
just saying to Bartleby. Yeah, so he's not on the floor at the moment.
In that case, he's going to use, because I've critted, I'm going to use bypass armor, and max damage.
Okay, cool. Just give me a location.
Yeah. No, wrong thing. Right arm.
Cool. And what's your maximum damage?
Maximum damage is 10.
Okay. Okay. And therefore I need to roll this.
So Hengist would have made a swipe, and then as he saw the goblins were like trying to dive out of the way, he would have quickly shifted his location to sort of like catch it on the arm. As like a second.
My endurance roll is 13.
I got 5.
Was that your standard?
No, that's my hard because I'm at hard at the moment.
No,
But it doesn't matter. My roll's still 13. Doesn't matter what difficulty it is. What was the original?
The original attack was 5.
But the original attack was a crit, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Okay. So therefore I fail, and so you notice that his right arm goes limp at his side. Okay. It looks like he drops the head that was in the hand. Okay. Cool. Okay, so we're up to the mage. Okay, mage has got no more actions left. Bartleby, you're up.
I'm going to move forward a little bit. Let me get my ruler out real quick. I was thinking of going kind of over here, over to that tree. Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. Cool.
But jog on over there.
Okay, so this is now Goblin 1. You actually see Goblin 1 coming around the other side of the tree, Bartleby, as it crawls off into the undergrowth. Goblin 2 takes a swipe at you, Hengist. That's the one next to you, and misses you. And Goblin 3 takes a swipe at Juno and misses as well. Okay, and so that is, we're up to oops, that's wrong. That's an M. We're up to combat turn 3. Okay, Juno can't do anything. Gulliver.
Gulliver's going to cast another spell, this time pointing with his fingers crossed at this one here.
Okay.
He's going to shout out, Trevor! And cast a spell that way.
Did you say Trevor?
No, not Trevor, sorry. Eric.
Trevor.
Yeah. Well, Trevor is one of his spells.
You should cast Trevor more. That makes it.
No, I can only cast Trevor if you cast a spell.
All right, got you. Okay then.
So this is one he shouts out, Eric, and again, you're allowed a.
I'm allowed an endurance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bomb. 37.
I got a 55, so that's a success for me.
Yeah, correct.
So that's a level of fatigue.
Yeah, cool. Got it. Evan.
Sorry, Kira wanted to treat. I'm still here. Aaron is. Wait, this is turn 3. Aaron doesn't have any points.
Okay, cool.
Sorry about
Hengist.
So Hengist, having just struck the goblin with the purple dot, the goblin, I'm going to call him the goblin mage just for ease. And then having the goblin to his right attacking him, he's going to sort of like try and do a back cut towards the goblin that has just attacked him. So this one.
Okay.
Yeah, just.
Yeah, I need the same. I need location and special and location.
Special will be bleed, and location is forthcoming. Right leg.
Okay, cool.
You need damage as well.
And damage.
And then damage. Oh, max damage again.
10.
Nice. I don't even have to pray for you, and you just do awesome.
Why, thank you, Bartleby.
No offense, Aaron.
37. 37 is my endurance.
Oh, my original was 70.
Yeah, okay then. So this guy is now prone on the floor. As you hit him in his leg, and his leg gives way underneath him. Goblin Mage is out. Bartleby, are you still in?
No. I don't have any more actions.
And right, anybody else have any more actions? I don't think so. No.
Nope.
So we will move on to combat round 2, turn 1, and Juno.
Delay.
Yep. And Gulliver.
This is armed with a spear. Was it?
Yeah. They've all got spears apart from the guy, the mage guy, who had 2 heads in his hand, if you remember.
Okay. So Gulliver again is going to cast another spell. This time, with his fingers crossed, he'll point at the same goblin, and he will say, "Idal blood," and cast another spell.
Cool.
I'm going to use a point of luck and re-roll it.
Okay. No.
With no success.
No success at all. Okay, so whatever it is, it goes whizzing over.
If I use a point of luck, I don't use 2. It was just me re-rolling the die. I don't lose 2 magic points.
You don't lose any more magic points. You just roll the normal stuff. Yeah, correct. Let's go. Aaron.
Aaron is going to lob the newly armed and magically enhanced javelin at this one. I'm pinging on the map. The one in front of Juno. All right. Firing now. Wow.
That's bad.
And then that misses.
Do you have any more luck?
Because it has to be, you're firing into melee, so it has to be hard.
So it has to be
Oh,
hard.
I knew that.
So if you've got any more luck, you can't swap them over. But if you've got any more luck, you can. You've used 1 luck already today.
Right. Yeah. So I'll reroll. With this last luck point, rerolling now. There we go.
That's better.
And that's it. So that goes into the goblin. You can. He's not going to evade or anything. So you can have your special and then 1 special and then your location.
Okay. I want to do impale as my special. And hit location. I'm rolling 1d20 now. 7.
You can just use your hit location if you just
that's right.
highlight your character and just hit the button.
Yep.
It'll come up.
Doing it now.
So I'm quite happy to take the first roll. That's no problem. I need some damage.
Okay.
Make
and
sure
then,
you do it right.
Yeah.
With a boost.
Okay, so I get to roll twice. Yeah. So there's 1, and there's 2. Wow. How?
5.
Oh my lord!
How does it?
You don't have a damage bonus?
10 plus 1. Oh, I don't know about my damage bonus. Damage modifier is 1d2. My apologies.
Okay, so if you roll a 1d2,
Yeah, then I can add it on.
You roll a 1 twice.
God.
this is Amriel saying that you should have actually gone and helped to begin with.
3.
It's going to be 4 damage because you're not going to get
Is
even
that-
if
is
you
that-
roll it for the second.
Is that
one,
4? Yeah, that's 4
That's 4
damage.
damage total.
Yeah.
In total.
4. 4.
Amriel makes the javelin just kind of get all floppy midair.
Yeah. So the
You thought Ariel was on our side.
the javelin sort of like flies, just missing Juno's head, and sort of like sticks into the goblin's side, and now he will actually be 1 step harder for his things now. And Hengist, you're up.
So yeah, having done his quick backswing on this goblin and crippling it, he's going to focus his attention back on the goblin mage in front of him, and he's going to attack. Oh, crits again!
Yeah, nice.
Right, what am I going to use this time?
Oh, nice.
There you go.
So that's 2, isn't it? He wants to circumvent parry, if that's possible. If the chap was going to try and parry.
No, he's not going to parry.
Oh, okay.
He can't. He hasn't
got a head.
He hasn't got anything to parry
That's true.
with.
In that case,
He
is
could
going
he could
to-
parry with an arm, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, that's what I was just checking. So in that case, he'll pick. Angus will do choose location and bypass armor.
Okay.
And he chooses location as the abdomen,
Okay.
and then rolls damage. There it is. 4.
4 points. Yeah. So this goblin, sort of like mage, for want of a better word, is sort of like what one of his arms is really sort of like badly injured, and he's already taken a hit from your stone from its on its leg. Gulliver, so it's sort of like limping around, and you sort of like take your sword and sort of like whack it through its abdomen for 4 points. That's bypassing armor, isn't it? So that's that's 2, and it's and it fails its endurance roll, and so sort of like with one leg battered, one arm thing, you sort of like whack into the thing, and this unarmed goblin sort of like slides off the sword. It's bleeding out quite rapidly, but it's on the ground. Attack. So 11 goblin mage can't do anything. Bartleby, you're up.
I'm gonna charge into combat now. I'm gonna charge right over to this one that Juno's fighting, and maybe I'll hit next turn.
I've lost a goblin.
He wandered away, and I'm not
There
worried
was
about
one
him.
wandering around here.
Yeah, and it's gone.
Maybe it was faster than you thought it was.
No,
I thought he just crawled away into the undergrowth, and
No.
he just is up and away.
that's strange, isn't it?
I was
There
gonna
it
judge
is.
him.
I
There
see
he
it.
is.
Which
It's
tree?
here.
Which tree was it
Trixie.
coming by? This one.
This one, yeah.
Yeah,
It
okay, yeah.
went through this bush and
Yeah, it was on that side of the tree. That's it. Cool. So you're diving into the one with the javelin stuck into it. So your movement, yeah. Movement there. Okay. Goblin 2 is going to make a feeble attempt to whack you, Hengus. So it's on the floor. So this needs to be formidable with its roll. Oh, sorry, that's its damage. Ignore that.
save it for later.
Yeah, and it just sort of like makes a feeble attempt, and just sort of like misses quite obviously altogether. And the Goblin 3 sees you coming in, Bartleby, and obviously recognizes you as the more superior opponent compared to a dog, and pulls back its spear and whacks it. This needs to be at hard because of the impale. And he's also fatigued as well by your spell, Gully, and he fumbles but gets a free skill roll, which I'm taking for later on. Yes.
Yeah. Gets an extra 1%.
Yeah, and he misses, and this goblin sort of like crawls off further into the forest. Yeah, so that was a move, that was a that, and that's he's out. Okay then, and so this is turn 2.
I just want to double check going forward. Was it 3 rounds or 3 turns that Juno?
Turns.
Oh, okay. So
Turns.
that now Juno is able to crawl away.
Yeah, and so this is round 2, turn 2, and Juno's up.
Okay. Then Juno will try and flee or break melee. I don't know what the term is.
Well, yeah, you can just
Get
move
away.
away because Goblin 3 is actually in combat with Bartleby. So
Clear the space. Okay.
So you can
pull
just
back.
call her back to you.
Yep.
So it'll
She'll
come
pull
back to you.
me.
And that's Juno. And Gulliver, you up.
Gulliver is going to try to cast another spell, seeing that Bartleby is now engaged in hand-to-hand combat, which is unheard of unless the thing's on the floor. Fearing for Bartleby's life, Gulliver is going to point at this thing and say, "Night Bursted!" and cast another folk magic spell.
Cool.
Not with that, it doesn't.
Do you wish to use luck?
No.
No. You're obviously not worth luck, Bartleby. Can I just say that at that point? Okay, so that's a spell cast. Excellent. Aaron.
All right, Aaron. I'm gonna do something I haven't gotten to do yet. I'm gonna try healing canine on Juno.
Yeah. Okay. Go for it.
Yeah. All right. Make sure I'm rolling as Juno or sorry, Aaron. All right, and rolling now.
Yeah,
Ooh.
so that's just like a first aid skill. So you roll a 1d3. What kind of injury does she have?
She had from his, I believe he had a spear to the front left leg.
No, Juno.
Yeah, she took a spear through the front. Left leg.
It was a.
Hang on.
It was a serious. It wasn't. It wasn't double. So
sorry,
it wasn't.
Okay.
It wasn't major.
It's a serious, yeah. Okay,
Yep.
so you sort of like bandage the wound up, so it's not she's not losing blood out of that wound anymore at the present moment in time. So it's not getting any better at the moment. It's just not getting any worse.
Yeah. Did you want me to roll or no?
You did there, yeah. You did your roll. It's on. You can't. It's when it becomes, she needs to stabilize it to get into minor before the bandages
Because
will take effect.
it takes a fair
I'll follow
amount
you.
of time to
I'll
do
follow you.
first aid or anything like that. It's-
Yep, that makes perfect sense. I follow you guys.
Hengist, you're up.
Yep. Angus is going to make an attack roll on the one on the floor.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean he's sort of like injured on the floor, so I mean that's fair enough. You just sort of like whack down on him. Yeah. So you
and
have
then
one
his
special.
Yeah, his special. He's going to pull the blade to like stop just at the last second at its throat, and then he wants to do compel surrender on the one on the floor.
Okay, and what's my roll that I have?
So you need to make
So willpower.
If it can understand, so if understands the demand, the target must make an opposed willpower roll versus the original attack or parry roll. If the target fails, they capitulate.
Game masters Game masters may wish to reserve compel surrender for use against non-player characters only. That's a really important bit of that, isn't it?
Well, we don't see that
We don't
because
see
we
that.
just have the PDF tables.
I thought you all had access to the rules.
Yeah, but I was using the PDF table because that's what I've been passed, and it's quicker than finding it in the rulebook.
Yeah,
Because my rulebook.
but you do have the rule book.
I do have the rulebook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what it says. Okay then, so you want me to make a willpower.
Yes, please.
Willpower, there you go. Yeah, it fails.
So that means as long as it can understand my request, it surrenders.
Yeah, I mean it can't attack in any case at the moment, so it drops its spear. Goblin Mage is bleeding out. Bartleby, you're up.
As I stride up to this goblin, I want to say, "Goblin, here's a greeting from my goddess." And I want to re-roll it with a luck point if I can.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, let's make this greeting count, guys. Season's greetings. No.
No.
You've seriously upset her.
Okay,
I'm
so
just
you
swinging
sort of like
around.
swing around, and this goblin almost like laughs at you as it comes on. So Goblin 2 doesn't do anything, and Goblin 3 goes and this is at hard because of the impale, and also it's 1 level difficulty because of the winded, and it actually hits.
Okay. Tough guy.
So, do you wish to parry at all?
I don't think I have enough actions to parry.
No, you don't. So this is going to hit you
Ooh.
in the chest.
I've got 2 armor points.
Yeah. So always take that off whatever I roll to start off with.
All right, bring it.
So 9 points of
Oh,
damage.
ouch. All right.
So you take
Alright.
7 points of damage to your chest. I need to know what it is at.
I'm at -1.
-1. So
Oh no.
in which case you need to roll an endurance test. Hang on. My original roll was 20.
Well, that's about what I'd need to get to even succeed normally. All right, let's do it. Big money. Maybe endurance. Or not endurance, is the luck point?
If you want to roll it again, yeah.
Yeah, may as well. That's my last luck point for this session. And let's make this endurance really count this time, guys. Yeah.
Okay, so you come towards it, and he sort of like jabs its spear. It jabs into your chest, and you sort of go, "Ooh!" like that, and you just sort of like slide off the spear, and you fall into unconsciousness as you land on the floor. And
Great.
that is turn 2 over with.
Well,
Yeah, turn 3.
Juno will just stay kind of laid down behind this tree, and
Okay.
You're out of it for 1d3 minutes for doing your first aid on your dog, both of you.
Gulliver, you're up.
Gulliver tried to cast another spell.
Cool.
He appointed as a person, cast it. You allowed an endurance roll
Right, so this is
against a force.
this is hard and hard.
Mm-hmm.
He fails.
Okay, so this is coming into his chest.
You've hit him
It's-
there before.
Yeah, and it ignores
And it ignores the
armor.
armor. Yeah.
for 2 points this time.
Cool. Aaron, you're up.
all right, Aaron, is he out or no?
Aaron, sorry. Are you-
Yeah.
Is your heal canine? Is it a spell or is it like a first aid?
Sorry, I'm just seeing who's got any actions.
Oh, sorry. Hengist definitely does.
Yeah,
no.
I'm just going down the list so I don't miss everybody, because sometimes I go down the list and I miss people out. So
Understood.
Juno's is there.
out.
Gulliver, you're out. Hengist.
Yep.
Hengist, you just hear, after seeing Bartleby crumple on the ground, you hear him go, Bartleby! And then he wants to do a charge action at the goblin. So that requires at least one full combat round.
Yeah. Okay then.
Oh, no. Actually, no. He doesn't want to do that. He's just going to run into combat. So he's just going to sprint into combat and go,
Yeah.
Bartleby!
So that'll be your movement.
Sorry, I misunderstood combat round. And
No,
combat
that's
turn.
fine. Combat mage can't do anything. Bartleby can't do anything. Goblin number 2 can't do anything. You do notice, Gulliver, that Goblin number 2, since the person he surrendered to has sort of like gone off, you see this goblin start to casually crawl off. And as you run towards Goblin number 3, of course, it turns around to meet your it's not a charge, but your run. But it doesn't have any action points left, but it will be that way around. Okay. Endurance fatigue checks, please.
Gulliver wants, before you go on to the next turn, Gulliver wants to spend a luck point to get another action point before he goes in.
Okay, yeah.
Ooh, didn't he? You could do that. Hengist would also like to do that when it's his turn.
And he was going to he's going to cast the same spell as he's just cast before he gets too fatigued.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Just 1 second. Okay, guys, if you want to know what you can use your luck points for, if you look in the tables and rules, it's in there what you can actually use your luck points for.
Yeah, when I said I didn't know, I meant forgot.
Yeah, it's in the journal bit on roll 20.
So
Now I'm making. Oh, is Hengist doing it as well?
Hengist is also doing it. Yeah.
all right. So you moved on turn 3, and then Gulliver, you
used a luck point to buy an extra.
You cast a spell. You cast your spell on turn 3. Yeah, is that right?
No, I'd already cast a spell on turn 3. You were just about to go to combat round 3, where I would have to make my endurance.
Correct. Yeah.
And I bought a luck point to give me used a luck point to give me another action.
Okay, got you.
At the end of combat round 2.
All right, and now Hengist, you're going to use a luck point as well,
please.
After hearing Gulliver's, yeah.
Well, it's because it reminded me that you could do that, and it would fit with what Hengist wants to do next. So that's if I could do that.
So, what do you want to use your action point for?
So, I just want to clarify. So, dropping something is a free action, isn't it?
It depends. Yeah.
So he wants to, if he can, he wants to drop his shield, and then he wants to use an attack action, but he wants to use his sword and bring it down two-handed against the goblin.
The dropping your shield is not going to be a free action because it's actually strapped onto your arm, isn't it?
That's fine. That's fine then. In which case, he will just attack anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that hits.
He's probably. What was the one I had in my head? He's going to use. Shift location, and then as his thing, and then he'll just roll his normal location, but he's going to shift it to the next adjacent location. If that's possible.
Okay, so you're going to roll a hit location and then shift it to the next one, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right arm, so he wants to shift it to chest.
Okay.
That'll be the next one over, won't it? And then here is his incoming damage roll with all his anger and spite 9. Because it's just this goblin has just dropped his friend Bartleby.
9, 8.
Give in to the anger.
Okay. Yeah.
As he brings it down in a crush.
Yeah, and
Crushing motion into the chest.
Managing to get that action point after seeing Gulliver get his means that you're able to hit this goblin, and that hits enough to. It doesn't actually incapacitate him. It actually does physically kill him as he is on there. Okay. And we're up to that's the end of the round, isn't it? Now.
Yes.
Yeah. Excellent. So Gulliver, you need to roll. And
I am. I'm finding it.
I
now.
think Aaron does as well.
Yes.
It's endurance, isn't it?
It certainly is. Yeah. Okay. So you'll be at 1 level of fatigue.
Yeah.
But Aaron, you're absolutely fine. Excellent. Okay then. And so this is now combat round 3, turn 1. And Juno
is remaining covered.
Excellent. Gulliver.
Gulliver, seeing that the goblin fall in, he's going to rush over to.
Okay, so you'll use your movement action. Brilliant, thank you.
Correct.
And Aaron.
Aaron will. I guess he'll grab his long spear. He'll re-equip it.
So ready a weapon. Excellent. And Hengist.
Hengist is also going to rush to stand. Oh, he's going to rush, and then so he wants to having just finished this goblin off, he wants to sort of like dive to his knees to check Bartleby, and see if Bartleby's okay.
Is that with a first aid roll?
No, because he hasn't dropped his weapons or anything, so that will be his next.
Okay, so
next thing.
That's fine. Okay, and right. Okay then. So this goblin goes off into the undergrowth, and I need to know. I know you're also like clustering around. The goblin that you're clustering around at the moment is dead, but there is an unconscious goblin. Is the idea to focus your attention around Bartleby at the moment, or not?
Negative for myself.
Well, Hengist's initial concern is Bartleby.
Right. Okay, so you sort of like you're all sort of like, I'm just going to remove this one down here. So what's the general? What are you going to be doing around Bartleby?
Once Gulliver gets close, and he's going to use some of the minor folk magic or a minor cantrip, and see whether or not he can stabilize Bartleby's wound in his chest. Was it?
Yeah.
Yep. Just a casual right in the dead center.
Yeah. Just all your vital spots.
Mr. Pickles, I'm just in your character sheet at the moment, so if you notice things moving, that's why. Yeah, he's currently has a serious wound in there.
So, my cantrip will stabilize it. It won't.
Correct. Yeah.
It won't do anything. It'll just stop him bleeding out, basically.
Yeah. Are you doing heal as a folk magic or healing as the skill?
Heal as a sorcery cantrip or folk magic.
Yeah. Okay. Then yeah, just stabilizing him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
I get it with. Don't I? Oh, it's hard. Yeah. Sorry, didn't.
I mean, the best thing to do is probably to so that will be one point gone. How long before you actually? How long are you before you actually unfatigued?
0.125 hours. So what's that? 8 minutes.
His blood's just gushing.
No, you're fine. Blood's not gushing at the present moment.
Oh, right. So he's in no immediate.
No, he just.
He's not bleeding out.
He will. He cannot join. He will be unconscious until he removes that serious wound.
Okay, so the other alternative that I have, and I don't know whether or not is regenerate.
Okay, so that will regenerate hit points per intensity that you cast it at.
Right, and will it affect serious wounds?
That will do the same for minor and serious wounds. It's exactly the same.
Okay, so Gulliver is going to rest up a bit until his fatigue is gone.
Yeah.
Whilst people are tidying up and then taking
I'm just checking on the spell description to make sure that I've
Do you want me to put it into chat?
Oh yeah, that'd be brilliant. Thank you. Cheers.
I'm just chilling in the dirt. It's okay, guys.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Hengist would have dropped his sword, taken his shield off, and he's unclipped his cloak, and he's sort of like holding it against Bartleby's chest. That's about the limit of his first aid knowledge.
Yeah, cool. The magic counteracts believes is stabilized but cannot repair. The target regenerates number of hit points per hour equal to the intensity of the spell. Okay, so it stabilizes him, and then in 1 hour he will regenerate 1 hit point of spell per intensity of the spell per hour.
Okay. So
if you must concentrate on it. If concentration lapses or the spell is terminated early, the amount of hit points recovered is proportionate to the time spell regenerating.
Okay, so Gulliver's going to remove whatever Hengist has put over the wound, and he's going to say, just keep us safe when I cast this spell. And he's going to take his actual disc that he used, and he's going to place it directly on the wound in Bartleby's chest.
Yeah.
And he's going to start casting.
What intensity are you going to do it as?
It comes in as intensity 7.
Okay, that's cool.
If it actually comes off.
That's intense.
That's invocation. So that's going to be, 1 magic point?
Yeah, unless you look it.
I can't look it. I've got no luck.
Okay, that's 1 magic point gone then.
And then he's going to have to try to cast it again.
That will do it.
Just stay patient. Stay patient, guys.
Gulliver's going to turn around and he's going to look at Hengist and he's going to step back, Hengist, you're in my light.
Hengist also like jump backwards because he'd never heard Gully like be so sharp with him before, or anyone.
Gulliver's going to turn back and say, further. You might die here. I've got magic points left.
After my obsession with dragons, the gods and goddesses kind of decided I was not.
After 4 magic points, you actually cast the spell, and after this is intensity 15, won't it? So
intensity 7.
Intensity 7. So after an hour in this situation, it's probably a best time here that. You can't actually move Bartleby. So I think what probably happens is that despite being quite close to the awful sort of like hideous symbol, you sort of like decide that it's probably best to actually set up some kind of camp here in order to get Bartleby back onto his feet. And after a good hour of spell casting, well, a lot more, isn't it? Because how long does it take you to cast the spell? 15 minutes. 1, 2,
it's going to be
3,
2 hours.
45 minutes. Yeah, 1 hour trying to cast it, and then 1 hour actually doing it. Bartleby, you recover 7 points.
That's exactly what I need.
Yeah. So you actually come round and from your wound, and you see Gulliver standing over you with his little amulet that you remember having him out, that he used to cast that spell with all the thing glowing round your chest.
And there's like bits of grey smoke just sort of like coming out the wound. There's a bit just coming out your nostril as well.
And he's just sort of like, you suddenly do that wonderful, like that as you wake up after the first thing remembering being kebabbed, by running virtually into the spear of a goblin. And suddenly realizing that maybe Amariel was not with you in this time of need, and you sort of like you start to feel a little bit better, but you know it's probably put you off combat for quite a while, especially in your little quilted armor.
Yeah.
So during these last 2 hours, Hector would have been not Hector, Hengist, sorry, would have been trying to as carefully and quietly as possible, so he doesn't disturb Gully and get shouted at again, because he's still kind of like, what? Being shouted at by Gully. He would have cleared away or moved some of the corpses of the dead the goblins, or the ones that hadn't managed to crawl away. He would have set up a campfire, sort of like boiled some water and some tea, or something like that, and then he'll immediately just hold a mug of tea out to Gully without saying anything.
Brilliant.
So Hengist is sitting by the campfire like this.
Meanwhile,
and
Aaron,
there's a pot of tea, with enough for everyone on there.
I would have had Aaron tracking down the one that crawled away with his javelin.
Oh yeah. So you can quite easily just roll your tracking skill.
All right. Rolling. No.
Yeah, that is quite easy to track down. You find him injured and whimpering behind a tree not far away from the clearing.
Can I retrieve my javelin, and can I bring him back? I mean, I don't need him, but maybe my mindset is maybe the group would want him alive. Maybe they can do something with him.
That is completely up to you.
Yeah. So I'll carry the wounded creatures, since I don't know what they are. The wounded humanoid back to them.
Yeah, so it's about 45 minutes into it, Hengist and Bartleby, you actually wake up to see that Aaron has brought one of these creatures, one of these goblins, back into the camp with him. The goblin looks pretty injured. It's probably going to need some medical attention.
I'll set him down by the fire as I walk up, and I'll look to Angus and be like, "Do you need him?"
Can Hengist try a medical roll to see how bad that goblin is?
Yeah, if you've got a med, yeah, go for it. You think he's fine?
How conscious am I at this point?
You're not conscious
Okay,
at the moment.
cool.
Yeah.
At that, Aaron will take a seat next to his dog, who's laying by the fire, and just kind of stroke her fur and look to Gully, who I believe is at this time still working on Bartleby.
I need to know what
I'll just kind of watch.
I need to know what you're doing with the goblin who's sort of like sat cowering. He hasn't got a weapon at the moment. He's just sort of like looking backwards and forwards between you both.
If he tries to move away, I'll just grab his leg that's crushed. So that way,
Yeah, well, he this is what he's looking to do constantly, because you can probably see in his eye. So you sort of like cause him a horrific amount of pain as you grab his injured leg and pull him back, and you see this as well, Hengist. And
Hengist, as soon as Aaron does that once, Hengist is going to say stop. I don't think we should do that. It's not fighting them and wounding them in Basford is one thing, but anything after that is not right, or I don't think it's right.
So
and then
you offering him life or death?
Hengist says, "I want to see if it can answer a question first."
Go ahead.
And then says, "What are you doing here? Why have you drawn this circle?"
Is this? Tell me which role you're popping behind it.
Hengist is going to try an influence roll.
Yeah, cool. Double your charisma, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, this goblin just sort of like is just sort of like cowering and shaking. He's got a pretty bad leg that Aaron has yanked on to start off with, but so he's looking very pale, and he just doesn't answer you.
Hengist
And now
will,
what do you say, Hengist?
Hengist will try and repeat the question. If that's possible.
Yeah, of course it is.
So roll influence again. I assume it's a hard.
It's now harder,
difficulty,
yeah.
I will get a point. No. Hengist just says, let it go. Doesn't matter. It's not going to answer our questions. It's probably not going to survive.
At
But we'll
that,
give it a chance.
Aaron will stand and lift the creature to its feet, well, its foot, and kind of help it walk away from camp.
Yeah, it sort of like goes scuttling off, half running, half crawling, half limping, and sort of like disappears into the night. And at that, Bartleby comes round and sort of like from the healing of Gulliver. And guys, I think that it will be where we end it for this evening, with Bartleby safely back into the land of the living, and an injured Juno, an injured Bartleby, and most people probably out of luck by now. So sat around the campfire eating a bit of leftover deer next to a non-glowing circle of blood that you're pretty sure incorporates a bit of Bartleby's somewhere within it. Okay, and we will leave them there, and at that point I'll let the player say who they are and where you can find them, and we'll start off with, as ever, with Chuckawugga.
Hi guys, I'm Chuckawugga. You can find me here on Saturdays where I play Gully in the Mithras campaign. You can also find me on Tuesdays where I play Shadowrun in the same channel. And in that one, I play another
You do.
spellcaster. A rather portly middle-aged gentleman called Stanley Lovely, who goes by the name of Studley on the streets. Other times you can normally find me hanging out in Inwells's station where I act as a moderator, or you can find me on his Discord where I just generally make sarcastic comments about things.
Excellent. And who you're passing the mic to?
I am going to pass it on to Longshanks EPG.
Why, thank you, Chuckawugga. So you've been watching me play Hengist tonight. I hope you've seen some elements of his new sort of character development starting to come out. It's something I am working on. But I've had a lovely evening tonight, and you can next find me playing Shadowrun on Tuesday night in this channel, which is going to be amazing because it's the start of a new adventure, I believe. And you can generally find me hanging out in Inwells's channel / Discord / Twitter page / website when it's up and running. And I'm going to pass it on to Mr. Wrath Inspired with his handsome beard.
You tricked me there with a mister. I was ready for pickles. Hey guys, so I'm Wrath from Wrath Inspired. I was playing Aaron and Juno. Where you can find me when I'm not here on Saturdays. I do run my own Twitch channel. It used to be full-time. I'm actually taking a step back and pursuing a bit more on YouTube. So if you go on YouTube, you can look up Wrath Inspired, and I've actually started posting a couple videos. I post about a video every other day, so you can check out that in the meantime when I'm not live on Twitch, or just hang out on the good guys channels, the actual worthwhile quality channels here on Inwells. And with that, I'll pass it on to does he need to
Me, please.
Okay, I'll give it to Mr. Pickles.
Oh, not Mr. Pickle.
I tried, guys. I'm sorry.
Hi guys, I'm Mr. Pickles. I just kind of crashed in this group and they don't know how to get rid of me. I play our Bartleby Fumus, the best fighter of the group. Totally awesome fighter. No, I'm our theist. You can find me here on Saturdays. You can find me over on Wrath's channel on Mondays, where I do a Traveler campaign that has no point and is very disjointed and wild and crazy. Otherwise, you can't find me anywhere.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
I'm glad you did.
So you've been watching them tackle strange cryptic signs in the grass tonight, and following trail obelisks into the forest in the search to find the Library of the Mystics. Who knows what else lurks in the actual forest, and what will they find when they actually get to the entrance of the yeah, Mr. Pickles, sorry, Professor Chuckles has just resubscribed in 2 months in the row. Thank you very much. Welcome. You are now still an elite waffler. You are now officially a waffling champion. So remember, keep calm and waffle on, Mr. Professor Chuckles. Anyway, woohoo, yes. Anyway, and what will they find when they actually get to the library, if they all get there in one piece? It just remains to be seen. I will be back tomorrow at 3 o'clock playing ESO on this channel, and then, as the people said, on Tuesday 7 o'clock there will be some Shadowrun being played. Apart from that, I hope you've really enjoyed today's game. If you have enjoyed it and you want to see what happens next week, then please do press that follow button and come back and see what happens. And don't forget, you can catch up with all the past adventures by going along to the website at inwills.co.uk. And so it only remains for me to say to each and every one of you, be who you are and say what you think, because the people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. Have fun, and I'll catch you all later. And until then, consider yourself well and truly waffled. Have fun, guys. Bye.
Goodbye.